Welcome to Is This Good? The show where we boldly, conclusively, and scientifically decide what things in this big wide world are good. I'm Matt Austin, and with me, as always, is production powerhouse Jason Doyle.
Hello.
Hi, JD. Thanks for coming today. And today's guest is a podcaster who loves running, dogs, backwards hats, thin crust dominoes, Shakespeare, Armenia, a nice crisp lager, cleaning his gutters, conscious hip-hop, and pulled pork in the slow cooker with Sweet Baby Ray's. From No Dunks, the oldest and best basketball podcast on the planet, it's Justin Everest Skeets. J.E. Skeets, welcome to Is This Good?
Welcome back, you mean, to Is This Good? Where's my bathrobe with, like, the crest number 5 on it?
Oh, we should do... Is this number 5?
I don't know. It's got to be
Feels
close.
like it, yeah.
At least 4, maybe 5. I'm getting into the Steve Martin, Tom Hanks territory.
Well, our version of that robe is the Is This Good t-shirt that you could be wearing because you did get one gratis.
It's true. Yes.
Well, you're the only one to wear it on the No Dunks program, so
Okay.
we do thank you for that.
Okay, good. I actually had a question right off the jump here. You know, I
please.
share the show as much as I can on the social media channels. I've got the T-shirt, like you said. I come on this damn thing all the time.
Well, that's not a nice way to put it, but go ahead.
Well, I am definitely a break in case of emergency guest. But anyway, I'm not part of the P-Hounds. Should I be? Do I need to be? Am I a bad friend if I'm not? I've been thinking
Well,
about
do you
this.
want to hear a portion of this podcast? Do you want to hear yourself?
I think you've been doing a great job. To the podcasts I listen to where I'm like, ooh, I wish I could hear that segment. They're coming back larfing hard. They're saying what I just missed. So yeah, I do. I should.
Well, you're not doing so great. You can't afford $5 a month.
No, not in this economy, for sure.
Oh, when I visited you in Atlanta, Nora told me all about the renovation she wants to do. She says, that's just, look, we got to save that. We got to pinch every penny here.
Yeah. We just booked a trip to northern Italy, so we're fine. We're doing okay.
We going to Lake Como?
We are indeed.
Wow.
Milan. During Fashion Week, we found out.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, no.
I know. Hey, something that was expensive just got even more expensive.
You're going to need a lot of linen shirts, I think.
Yes, I'm going to buy some loafers, I think, too. Try those on.
No sock loafers?
Hey, maybe.
No, you can't wear a sock there during Fashion Week, I don't think.
No, probably not.
Northern Italy?
Late September, yeah. No, that's where we're going.
Sprezzatura. So you hanging with Clooney. What else? And what else are you doing? Going on a...
I don't know. Yeah, we'll do something on the water. I don't know. You know, this is a classic Nora thing. Like, she, thank God, takes control, does a bunch of research, is all over the TikToks, all over IG. I sometimes joke that she's already taken the trip before we've taken the trip. But it's great for me because then I'm like, all right, this is cool.
Yeah.
This is all new to me.
All new.
Yeah, we're going to Milan for a couple days and then Lake Como, and then that's sort of it. It's a quick, week or 8 days in late September, I believe we've booked for.
Beautiful. Well,
Yeah.
Speaking of your wife, Nora, I have a question for you because last night we had our live stream. Don't worry, this isn't actually about Nora.
Okay.
We had our live stream hangout with
Yes.
the P-Hounds, which you are not a part of because if you can't afford $5 a month, definitely can't afford 10 to get that video.
That's the level. Okay.
You got to level up, get the video, get
Okay.
the live stream hangouts. It was super fun. But someone asked us a question that I was surprised by my own answer. So I'm going to ask you the question, and I want you to answer this within 1 second.
Okay.
Okay?
Yeah.
We've obviously all known each other for a long time. The four of us, Tass, Trey, including Lee here, we all worked together for a very long time. Yeah. How many of the starters' people's weddings have you been to?
0.
No, that's incorrect.
Incorrect.
Because you were at Tass's wedding. We all were.
Tass's was like, it was a wedding. You're right. In the
Jesus! I forgot about that part of it.
What am I trying to say?
Oh no! It was. We went to the ceremony. It was in the courthouse.
Yeah,
we were there.
Right. You're right. What am I trying? Where was it?
It was in City Hall.
City Hall. Thank you. Like, why couldn't I think of City Hall? Yeah, you're right. And then the party was in the underground of...
What the hell is that place called?
The Drake.
The Drake. Yeah.
Oh my God! Everyone's so old. No one can remember.
Well, it sounded wrong because there's Drake now.
So you're right.
So
You're right. I mean, definitely, it was their wedding, their event, and all that.
Yeah.
But I
Yes.
guess I was thinking the classic wedding, walk down the aisle, stuff like that. Which
Right.
did not happen.
But it's
So
funny
that's
that you went the other way and said 0 because my answer was like, oh, I've been to all of them. And then I was like, oh no, I've been to one of them. I've only been to Tass and Danielle's wedding.
Yeah.
Because JD got married
Second
in
year
Mexico.
university, yeah.
JD tried to pass it off as like on the live stream yesterday. Well, like everyone was invited. I was like,
I
yeah,
definitely was not invited.
First of all, yeah, it's a question if we were even invited.
I wasn't. Maybe you, because you guys knew each other a little earlier.
Yeah, no.
Okay.
But also, as I said, like you left in the middle of the week during school, like during finals. What was I
No, it
supposed
wasn't
to do?
finals. It was January. It was the beginning of January.
Well, that's why you never got that last credit.
That's exactly right.
Yeah, as I said,
That's
you
exactly right.
failed out of that class. So
Yeah.
you're like, if you're willing to fail out of class, definitely come to my wedding in Mexico.
Nah, you could have handled it. You could have handled it. You would have
been
caught up. You were very studious.
reading Great Expectations on the beach.
I had a goddamn full-time job while we were going to university.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, no, look, you did fine.
It's turned out all right.
You went to Life University. And then Lee was married before we knew him. Trey was married before we knew him.
Right. And then I never had a...
You didn't have a wedding.
Yeah, we got married. We got married at like a city hall here too, a government building in Atlanta. You maybe came, Matt, to when we actually, you know, signed on the dotted line and got officially married. We did just go out for drinks and stuff like that. You maybe came.
Yeah, but does that count as
doesn't
going to your
count.
wedding?
No, so that's what I'm saying. That's not a wedding.
Oh, yeah.
Tass's was definitely more of a wedding party.
I don't know why are you qualifying Tass as that was a legit wedding.
Yeah.
Wasn't it?
Yeah, no, it was, especially because we were at the actual city hall.
And we saw him get married.
Okay, would you say...
Didn't we?
Would you say...
Yes.
Yes. But
Okay.
if you had just gone to the party at the Drake...
Yeah, no.
Yeah, that's the more
Would you
interesting
have
question.
said, I was at Tass's wedding? No, you wouldn't.
No.
Yeah. But you're right. We went and saw them. I remember we were piled on top of each other. Like, I think I was standing on a stairwell.
Yeah.
To see them actually get married.
It was packed. It was packed.
Yeah.
He's very popular, and so is his wife.
Yes, that's right.
I didn't mention this yesterday in the live stream, but I didn't. As a child, I went to a wedding at a strip club. It was in a strip club, the actual ceremony.
Wow.
And the reception and everything, because my uncle owned a chain of strip clubs, and it was another uncle that was getting married, and he worked as a bartender at the strip club, and he actually married a dancer, but they had the wedding because it was a venue, and it was a Sunday afternoon that was closed, and so it was just weird because, and I kind of didn't realize, but there's pictures of, like a minister marrying my aunt and my uncle next to the pole. Like the pole is in the picture.
Really?
How did you find a priest willing to go there? To
Well, it
do
wasn't
that?
a priest. I think it was a minister but yeah, whatever. I don't know. Like, I don't know where they found
someone
him.
that was anointed by like the Church of Humanity or something.
Yeah, United Church.
Did
or
you
whatever.
throw dollar bills instead of rice?
Well, no, but I'm pretty sure I was sitting in Pervert's Row.
You were sitting right against the stage.
It's a
I was
great
like,
seat.
these seats are great.
Yeah, it's front and center.
You know what's funny in Judaism when people get married, in the ceremony there is a thing where the woman walks around the husband. I think it's 8 times or something. I'm a little fuzzy on like why or what the tradition actually is.
Yeah.
But would be great to have a poll for
Just
that.
zip around it. Yeah.
Totally.
Instead of having a walk around, you just get a running start, boom, and you do
Momentum.
you whip around that thing 8 times.
Yeah. Convenient.
So that's so. Wow, do you think they had the staff working, but they just like dressed them up?
100%. 100%.
Really?
That's what it was. Yeah, I think so. And then it ended up that the kids there was like a row of video games, like arcade games near the front.
You mean poker? Like,
No, it was Galaga and stuff. So it was sort of like,
Okay.
but it was a full on strip club, and it was crazy.
and like it is now time for the couple's first dance. Pour some sugar on me.
I like the idea of the bachelor party on the Saturday night going right into the wedding.
Right.
Same venue on Sunday.
The bachelor party was in a church. No, just kidding.
If you have cash or checks to give the happy couple for their honeymoon,
Hold on,
please tuck it into her garter.
I gotta go to the ATM, get gouged on the fees.
What was the chain of strip clubs called?
I can't remember.
Okay. This is in Toronto.
It was actually in like Ajax and Durham, like Ajax.
Oh, so these were sophisticated.
Yeah.
These are like
suburban strip clubs.
I want to say it was called Tattletales, maybe.
Oh yeah.
Great name.
Secrets.
That's amazing. How old were you?
I must have been in grade 7, so
man.
12, 13, yeah.
Doesn't Tattletales imply that the stripper is going to tell your wife that you were
I
there?
know, it doesn't work.
Should have been called Omerta or something. Really.
That might have not. I don't know. I don't know why that just popped into my head. Tattletales. But anyways.
Can we name the Toronto strip clubs?
Sure.
There was Zanzibar.
Yeah,
The
classic.
iconic one on Young Street.
Brass rail.
Brass Rail. How
got-
about the House of Lancaster?
Ooh, that's a deep cut.
Ahead of its time. That's the kind of place that you walked by, and it was from what I remember, I'd never been to it, like a concrete building, kind of no windows.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And you walk by and you're like, is that a steakhouse? Is that
Yeah. Mysterious name.
Yeah.
a Legion Hall or something?
I think in living for Toronto, when I lived there, probably 4 years, I didn't know what that place was.
Right.
Because you're right, it was they weren't neon glowing lights, strip club. It was
It's the
what's
most
going on in there?
nondescript of all
Yeah.
of them, for sure.
Also, every fucking pub in Toronto is called the Duke of Lancaster or something like that.
There's Fillmore's, of course.
Right?
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
And For Your Eyes Only.
And I think they closed. Was it a Jilly's? Was there a Jilly's out on the east
Jilly's,
side?
yeah, right across from Tass's old place.
These aren't great. For Your Eyes Only, sure. Brass Rail, sure.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
But none of these other ones feel like a classic, like a strip club by the airport, and it's called the Strip or something.
Right,
Yeah.
right.
No.
It doesn't. These are fine names, but
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't know if they're great classic. For instance, growing up in Montreal and having a strip club named Super Sex.
Yeah, that's.
I'll have the soup. All right.
Okay.
Housekeeping. We got merch. Jay Skeets has the merch. He's not wearing it right now, but he might. That's a very nice T-shirt that you got on now, Skeets. But it's no Is This Good shirt. Go to isthisgoodpod.com to get it. Tag us in a pic if you're wearing it. Join the Is This Good Patreon at patreon.com/isthisgood. Unless your name's Jay Skeets, save up that money for Lake Cuomo. Send topics for future shows to isthisgoodpod@gmail.com. Subscribe to Is This Good on YouTube. Leave a review on Apple Podcasts. Skeets, as you know, the premise of the show is very simple. I'm going to give you a topic. You tell me if it's good. But before we start, let me just say, I take issue when you said that you're a break glass in case of emergency guest. You are an elevated guest. People would love it if you were on every week.
Oh, that's very kind.
You're a dream guest. I just don't feel like I want to harass you every week.
Oh, I see. Well, I have opinions about everything. Well, who bailed at the last minute?
No one bailed. I was. I try to have one guy from the No Dunks community on once a month. If you guys will be so kind as to come on. But this week I have to admit I was sick, so I didn't want to speak to people.
Yeah, what happened?
I had a fever and some stomach issues.
Oh, no.
It must have been a stomach flu, some kind of stomach flu.
Okay.
So, it was not a great week, but we're about to end it by having some fun. Or not end it, because this is coming out on Monday. It's Monday.
It's a classic Lee Ellis move there. Hey, Lee, whatever you do, don't say what the date is, because we're recording this and we're going to air it later. Yeah, no problem. Man, I love Fridays. God damn it, Lee.
And I love Mondays, the day it's coming out, Memorial Day. It's Memorial Day today.
This is a holiday.
I can't believe you came in on Memorial
I
Day.
know.
That's a great friend.
That's a real friend right there. You're right.
All right, so Ty R asks, school uniforms, are they good? I'll start by saying I don't believe that either of you went to a school where you wore school uniforms. Am I correct?
Nope. Never had to wear one throughout any schooling system.
Okay, I'm also further going to guess that when you were in your schools where you could dress as you wished and you passed by a kid that was wearing a uniform, you went, what a fucking loser. Am I correct?
Yeah, I definitely remember going, man, that would suck.
Yeah, same.
I
It was
would
more pity, right?
Hated to do that. Nora, I mean, I didn't know her at the time when she was younger, obviously, but she went to a school that was all uniforms.
Yeah.
But yes, I definitely was like, oh, that's the worst. But now I have different opinions about it. I think this is a fascinating question like this one, because you can make a great case why they are good, and I think you can make a great case why they're not. Obviously, where's your identity and your individuality, and that's just thrown out the window. But and especially maybe JD, you can speak to it better. Like having kids, like I assume parents don't mind the idea of like, we know what you're wearing every day.
Yeah.
And there's no like, oh, am I wearing this or am I wearing that? And then there's no judging in the school either of like, oh man, this guy's got the great T-shirt, he's got the cool no fear shirt, and I got this is this good shirt. Sorry.
That my dad gave to me.
yeah.
All I wear is no dunk shirts.
Have you ever not worn a shirt that wasn't from the Breaking Tea store?
We got to get Breaking Tea to make Oxford shirts so people within uniforms can wear them.
So yeah, I mean, I'm torn on this one. I got to be honest, because I can see why it is good and why it isn't.
Yeah. My kids, Jackson especially, he takes forever getting ready. Like putting his fit together. He'll change like 3 times. Right. And it's just like, it's a pain in the ass from a parental point of view. I don't even know if he's happy about it. You know what I mean? Like, I think he does like to look good. He likes to be put together ultimately. But if you just take that out of it, it just makes your morning so much more efficient. I mean, was it Obama who was like, I love wearing my gray suit every day because I don't have to think about it? It's like one last thing.
That was Superman.
Same person.
No, but Clark had to still pick out his, pocket protector and his
I was saying he just would open the closet. It would just be Superman outfits.
Well, Matt, you did wear them, right? Did you have uniforms?
I did wear a uniform, yeah. Look, when you're wearing the uniform, you're like, it's uncomfortable. As a child, you don't like an itchy fabric. You don't want to be wearing wool pants, or I don't know. I guess they weren't wool pants, but whatever they were, slacks. You don't want to wear something that has pleats on it. You certainly don't want to be wearing a shirt with a button down, then tie a tie and wear a blazer.
That's what you had to wear.
That was my uniform. Yeah, it was a full, not a suit, I guess, but it was, a jacket, tie,
Starting
slacks.
what grade?
This is going to blow your mind. Grade 1.
Grade 1, you are wearing a slacks, a dress shirt, a tie, and a blazer and whatever, like, patent black shoes or whatever.
This baby's going off to his important job.
That's incredible.
Learning the alphabet.
I mean,
it is.
You pull out the briefcase and got all the letters in here, all 26 of them.
I just picture you coming home with the tie askew and just
you do.
What a day.
Yeah, throw in the briefcase.
You have no respect for these clothes. Like, we would play this kind of game of handball mixed with soccer in the schoolyard, right? So you could pick the ball up to throw it and pass it, but then you immediately had to put it down and then, kick it. Yeah. And so we would have goalies, and the goalie would take their jacket off and then put it forward.
Oh, yeah, we did that.
Your hands
we did that with winter jackets for sure. That was like your
that was your blocker.
Yeah.
Yeah. And of course your parents were going like, you were constantly getting the pants patched up because they're like, I'm not buying you another pair of pants. And
how many sets did you have?
No, I had probably one blazer, maybe 2 pairs of pants, and like a blue shirt and a white shirt, 1 tie.
Wow. Holy crap.
Yeah, but again, like looking back on it, I didn't know how to dress because we would have these days as a little treat, free dress days.
Sure.
And everyone was like, wow, we could wear whatever we want. I felt super awkward on those days because I was like, I don't know what to wear. I don't have nice clothes or cool clothes.
Right.
And I go in and I'm like, oh, that's how to dress. Like, oh, Stussy. That's what I need to be wearing.
Yeah.
Massimo. That's how to look cool. I didn't have any of that.
That's what my godkids have, where they do it 4 days a week. It's uniform, and then Fridays are always
Casual Fridays.
Casual Fridays.
Yeah.
Casual.
Well, that's what it would be.
Yeah. Hey, take the tie off. Relax a little.
But do you think that, or did you have the experience where you felt like, shit, I don't have the cool clothes that everyone else has and I feel less than, or just seeing someone get bullied because they were dressing weird, and that would be avoided in a situation where people were wearing uniforms?
It would definitely be avoided. That definitely happened for myself, not having obviously the designer stuff or the coolest stuff, and then kids having it even worse than you and getting picked on, or wearing the same thing, like that happened. Like
totally.
Start to notice the kid that was coming from a rough family or whatever is wearing the same track pants like 4 days in a row, and obviously they'd get picked on. Yeah, that's horrible. This is gonna sound weird personally, and I wonder, like, okay, here's my first question, Matt. When you got this suit, did you go and get measured for it, or did they just give you like, well, you're a small, so like, here you go?
Yeah.
So it didn't fit you all that well, I'm guessing at times.
No, this isn't like a Prada suit. Like,
right.
In fact, one of the most traumatic moments of my life, exaggeration, but I still remember. I was very young. I was probably, 8 or 9 or something, and there would be a store in near the school that would sell the uniforms.
Yeah.
And I went in and I got a pair of pants. I was with my mother, and I put them on, and I came out, and the guy that worked there said, "Perhaps I can show you to the husky section." And I literally remember. Come
on.
Yeah, because you know what fat is. You know what, like, even at that age, like what people calling someone like chunky or tubby. I never heard the word husky before. To me, a husky is a beautiful animal.
Yeah, it's a gorgeous dog.
I mean, they're surviving out there, fierce, lean, hunting foxes or whatever they do up there. And then I was like, what is that? And she was like, it's just
wow. A bigger pant.
It's just a bigger pant. Anyways, so yeah, will never forget that guy calling me fat.
See, Nora said this because I was like, yeah. I told her my fear of, like, they would have given me a suit. I was super tiny and scrawny. I'm like, there's no way it would have fit me.
Yeah.
It would have looked ridiculous.
Yeah.
But they had again, if you're gonna make 7-year-olds wear a uniform, you're gonna have small sizes.
Sure. But she said she went to this store, like you're saying, and would get, like, they'd get full on measured, and I guess it was like another level up, and you get a couple. I'm like, oh, okay.
You fancy, huh?
But
I mean, I'd probably have to get my pants hemmed, but maybe I think it might have been my mother just sewing it.
Yeah.
Sewing it in.
So did you? So you liked it then? You liked having the uniform?
I probably didn't give it much thought at the time, like, and for comfort reasons, like my parents always joke that I used to come in with the tie, and I would go, and this wasn't like a bit I thought I was doing. I would just go, I have to take the tie off. I can't breathe. And they're like, no, you can breathe. That's a tie. Like, no, it's so tight. It's too tight. And I'm like, but I imagine that as like a child who's only wearing like t-shirts and running free in fields. When you're Tarzan and they try to put the society clothes on you, you're like, I'm too constricted.
It is sort of mind-boggling. Like, I can't believe you were wearing suits at that young of age, where it's like in the classroom, okay, no problem, sort of makes sense. But I had never thought about recess hits or lunch hits. We're out in the field, literally running around, making a mess, sweating our asses off.
Yeah.
And you're doing that or maybe you take the jacket off or whatever, but like, that's crazy. Like, we're in shorts and a t-shirt.
How about finishing school and then getting on the bus or the metro and going home, and then having the kids be like, you think you're better than me?
Well, yeah, right.
That kind of vibe.
Yeah,
or just a straight like, let's go fuck with that kid wearing the thing.
Yeah.
All right, so I think, like, let's go through the advantages.
Okay.
As the kid, you don't have to make a choice. You know what you're wearing every day. it promotes a certain level of equality within the school because you're not being judged or by how much you're spending on your outfit. I mean, sure, the uniform itself can be expensive, but frankly, probably less expensive than buying like a shit ton of like
entire wardrobe,
a haul of like back to school clothes. Reduces peer pressure. It's like, okay, I don't need to go get the newest Jordans to keep up with everyone. This one is a maybe, but like even if there isn't like a uniform, there still would be some kind of dress code at a school where you could wear whatever you want, right? You can't like wear a shirt that says fuck or on it or something.
Oh yeah, I remember tons of kids remember when Bart Simpson was like, oh god, eat my
don't
shorts?
Have a cow, man.
And people always having to like turn their shirts inside out or like forced to wear like a shirt that was found in Lost and Found or whatever.
Well, people had to do that too. If you didn't come in the right thing, it would be like go to the Lost and Found and get.
Really?
Oh yeah, especially also with gym clothes too. Like you had to wear specific things.
Yeah.
Okay, so let's get to that then. People will bristle against it because they'll say it feels like too conformist, like you're limiting people's expression.
Yeah. I mean, that's what we thought.
But all school is limiting your expression and enforcing some kind of rule system. It's like, first of all, you have to go. You can't decide to not go. You can't, you got to go to these classes at these times. You have to learn what they're teaching. You have to raise your hand when you want to speak. Yeah. I mean, school is all rules and rule following. So I don't know, like, I'm sympathetic to it because, like, look, we've all seen The Wall, like teacher, leave those kids alone. But I don't know if I really think that needing to wear the no fear shirt is like you expressing your individuality.
Yeah.
That is such a great need at that age which you couldn't do after school or on the weekend or I don't know. Maybe I'm off on this. How do you feel? Do you feel like it puts people in too tight a box?
I hear what you're saying, but who cares also is the counter. It's like, who cares if I'm wearing a t-shirt and you're wearing a dress shirt, and you are stripping away the kids' like identity a little bit because what you wear is what you're trying to express.
Sure, I agree.
A band, a sport, whatever. So you're trying to like silence that.
Right.
Which is like, that's not great.
We talked about this a little on a lot actually on the Patreon chat yesterday, and somebody said, I can't remember who it was, so my apologies, but somebody said, you can express yourself through your words and through your actions and personality, sense of
humor.
Yeah, I think it just lets that shine through a little more. And if you're all wearing the same thing, you have to step up that personality game a little bit, you know what I mean, to stand out. So I don't know.
Yeah,
I think that's valid. I think that's a very valid point.
Yeah. Let's all wear the same thing and have the same insignia on it and get the same haircut and maybe all wear the same armband.
Yeah, that's
okay.
This is so maybe it's not a good idea. All right. 56% of people say school uniforms are. What do you think, Skeets?
I think they say not good.
I say good.
Oh, no, it's not good.
Not good.
But it's tight. 56%. Yeah. That's what I said.
Yeah, honestly, tighter than I thought it was going to be. I thought it was going to be a landslide against uniforms.
Tighter than those slacks on Husky Max.
You know how many pants I split in the crotch?
Probably a lot.
Probably a lot.
You're these kids are all growing.
Yeah, that's the other
thing too. So
yeah.
It's like, the shoes and the pants and the shirts.
Yeah, well, luckily for my parents, I didn't grow that much, so I was still wearing the same thing from the first grade to the 11th grade.
They actually purposely stunted your growth so that they didn't need to buy new stuff.
That's why I drank so much coffee as a kid. John M. asks, ice water in restaurants, is this good? So here's why John has this beef, Skeets. So he writes in an email. Why the hell do restaurants in the U.S. always assume you want ice in your water? I find it infuriating. Cold water is known to be harmful to digestion in both Chinese and Ayurvedic medicine. You knew that, Skeets, right?
Yes, everybody knows that.
You're always telling me that.
Yes.
One might say it's because people want to cool down and feel refreshed when it's hot out. If that's the case, restaurants could just add ice during hot summer weather. But it can be the dead of winter in a northern city. You walk into your neighborhood restaurant. Before you've even sat down to look at the menu, the waitstaff has brought you a glass of water overflowing with ice. Do they think ice will improve the taste of tap water? Would it be so hard to simply ask the customer if they want ice? What gives? Thanks for your great work on the podcast. John's from Portland, Oregon, I guess. It gets cold in the winter up there.
Sure.
He doesn't want ice in his water.
Okay.
You are a man that loves and appreciates ice.
I am.
Wouldn't you say?
I mean,
you talked about starting an ice company.
Yeah, there are levels to the loving of ice, though. There's me, and then there's my buddy Grish, your buddy Grish, our buddy Grish. That guy, I think he's addicted to ice. Like, I think he actually has a problem that he needs to talk to a professional about. Like, he has to have ice, and it has to be a particular way and all that. I'm not like that, but yeah, what was the guy's name here? John?
John.
Yeah, like so he's just pissed off that restaurants in particular assume everybody wants ice.
It's the default.
Yeah, he says the default should be, I guess if you boil it down. He's saying the default should be no ice because you can always add ice to no ice.
This is the stupidest thing I've ever heard.
Remove ice.
I've never been so annoyed by an email that we've gotten. I'm sorry. My apologies to John.
JD, and you don't read the emails we get. You don't know the annoying ones we get that I don't read on this show.
Yeah, there's a reason for that. Oh, my God. Just say no ice. That's all you have to say, John. Just say no ice. And this whole thing that I went down a rabbit hole going, wait, is ice water harmful to your health?
Oh, God. Well,
I don't think so. I don't think that's a thing.
What did you look up, JD?
On fucking internet. I don't know. Where is he getting?
Peter Attia? Did you consult Huberman? Did you consult Tim Ferriss?
Okay, Tim Ferriss has no credentials. He's a podcaster. But anyways.
He's a biohacker.
John, the issue is you are in the minority, I think, just when it comes to people, how they like their water.
Yes.
A majority of people want ice. And then there are the few.
The freaks.
Like you that don't. Now, that's fair. But he's got a point when you think about it like this. Why in a restaurant do they just assume everybody wants ice? But why when I'm on a plane, they ask everybody when they get their beverage, do you want ice or not? Why is that?
I might be
because
able to.
They have a limited amount of ice. They're on a plane.
Oh, you think they're trying to save the ice?
Yes, of course.
What? So they're in a problem. Delta is if everybody on that flight
everybody wants ice, then they're screwed.
No, I think it's because people are like, this is a small cup to begin with, and now you're gonna fill it up with ice, and half of my beverage is gone. So no ice, thanks.
Yeah.
I think that's what actually is going on. But
it's also not pre-mixed. It's not pre-mixed on an airplane. I think that's another reason. It's the water is usually coming from a bottle, and then they're scooping the ice in. Or they're scooping the ice in and then adding the water from the bottle.
Right.
But in a restaurant, to save time and make it easy, the ice is already in the pitcher, and they're just pouring from the pitcher.
Right, but if it's water, if it's bottled water and you're putting ice in it, that ice is not from bottled water. It's tap water.
Of course.
So you're like, do you want to contaminate your bottled water with perfectly fine ice?
You think the water in the plane, you think those bottles are sealed? I'm not so sure.
What do you mean? What do you mean?
Hold on.
Why wouldn't they be?
We're going down a weird tangent here.
Because they could just be refilling them with tap water.
I suppose. And to that,
I'm
I
just
say
saying
good.
Planes are cutting corners everywhere.
All right.
So you think water is sacred?
In a perfect world, John wants to be at a restaurant with friends, let's say, and he goes, "Hey, can we get a round of water for the table?" And
lukewarm water is placed.
He probably would like. It sounds like they bring a pitcher of water, and then they bring a pitcher of ice, and it's make your own drink. It's like, how much ice do I want?
Okay, it's like bottle service. That happens at bottle service.
Yeah.
Okay.
Because people will do the whole thing where like, hey, not so much ice. Because restaurants, they'll fill that cup with a ton of ass ice.
But it's water. It's free anyways.
Yeah, but that's the point, JD. They want to put more ice in the cup.
Okay.
So then they're putting less of whatever tasty beverage maybe you're.
But we're talking about water.
Well, okay, yeah. You're right.
Water is a tasty beverage.
I was.
JD, you go for a run and tell me that the thing you don't want most in the world when you get home is a tall glass of water. That being said, I don't like it when it's too cold.
I don't either. Especially when you're working out, yeah. It's tougher to put down, yeah.
Fair, I guess.
Also, you said John's in the minority. He says, according to Chinese medicine, warm water's better. Guess where there's more people than here?
So if I go to China and I ask for a glass of water, it's not coming with ice? Is that what he's saying?
I'm saying from
He might be
Beijing
right.
to Xinjiang, you can't find ice there.
Okay.
I mean, his language is a little harsh. He's saying it's harmful to digestion. I think it's warm water is easier to digest.
Sure.
That's fair to say. But I just don't buy that it's harmful to your digestion. It's just maybe it is, but like we're gonna like the health part of it. Just take it out of the equation. The guy likes warm water. Great. Ask for warm water.
So JD, you want ice when you go to a restaurant. You want
goddamn right I want ice. There better be a lot of ice.
Okay.
Well, you want a lot of ice.
I like it cold. Sue me.
Yeah.
Okay, well, Skeets, since you are a fan of ice, you know people that love ice, I thought I would do a reverse subjective trivia for you where I'm going to show you some types of ice. Sure. I would like you to rank them based on your preference.
Okay.
All right, so you got a half cube. That is apparently the technical name for the kind of ice, like in an ice tray that you have in your freezer.
Yeah.
And you got the giant cube. The giant cube comes in a spirit forward cocktail.
Yep.
So it doesn't melt as quickly. Shaved ice.
Yep.
You know, not used in cocktails so much, but a lovely dessert. The Hawaiians are doing great stuff with it. The Filipinos are doing what? It just turned into Trump there. The Filipino people are doing wonderful things with shaved ice. They call it hello. Crushed ice.
Yeah.
Very fun when you see it. In a mint julep or something like that.
Yeah.
And dry ice. Not commonly used in cocktails, but sometimes when you want that smoky effect, it is used.
Yeah.
And also, dry ice is a fucking magic trick in the wild.
It's so great.
Yeah. It's like we got all caught up in how do magnets work, but let's talk about dry ice. Like, how does that work?
Is it even ice?
I don't know.
You know how I don't know, like a peanut's not a nut, that kind of thing?
No clue.
Is it technically ice?
I think so.
You can't eat it.
You can't even touch it.
Yeah, right. So
you got to use tongs.
Yeah.
Can't touch
Anyways, it's like when you go to a baseball game and the guy that is carrying around the ice cream or the ice cream sandwiches has the dry ice and it's smoking everywhere.
Yeah. It's amazing.
You fucking
so cool.
David Copperfield, you fucking whimsical centaur carrying this ice cream around. All right, so Skeets, rank your ice.
Rank my ice. Now, this is difficult because, like, some of these particular ices, like you said, like a giant cube, I'm having that if I'm having, obviously, a whiskey.
It's situational.
Yeah, it's a little situational, but I do get excited. You said it, Matt. I loved when I see a crushed ice. Mm-hmm. And I think maybe that's, like, okay, dry ice, I almost don't even include.
Okay, well, just go... You come over to my house.
Okay.
You open the freezer. There's a type of ice in there. Which ice would you be most excited to see? What a question.
I guess I gotta go crushed ice.
Okay.
Wow.
Yeah.
Because
I'm
that is
surprised.
that's very rare to be at a friend's house and see a bunch of crushed ice.
I suppose.
Now, I know people have, like, the thing in their refrigerator to make the crushed ice.
That's true.
But I guess I go crushed. I love a giant cube. I'm a huge fan of it. You can get them, like, monogrammed and stuff like that.
Really?
Oh,
Like,
yeah.
put things in. You guys should do ITG. Little giant cube.
Oh.
Actually, you know what?
Yeah,
Let me get that for you. Yeah.
Here's a great idea. We put a picture of the giant ice cube with ITG shaved into it.
Yeah.
And we put it on the website and we're like, here, you can buy this. We never manufacture them. Everyone, when you order it and you receive it, it's just a little puddle of water.
It's empty, yeah. It's
Just
empty
warm
envelope.
water.
And then
John
they're
would
like,
love it.
Oh, what happened? And then you got to take that up with UPS. I'm sorry.
It's not on us.
It's not on us.
We could package it with dry ice, though. Mm-hmm. To keep
That's
it.
true.
Yeah, but then we got to manufacture cubes.
now we're manufacturing all ice.
And then we got to figure out what dry ice is.
I'm a little confused what shaved ice is. Is that like a snow cone almost? Like
that vibe, but it's a little more sophisticated.
It's more snowy, I would say.
Oh, I like that ice. Oh, maybe that's number one.
Imagine taking a potato peeler to a giant cube of ice.
Yeah. Oh, okay. Now
So it's like it almost is melting on your tongue.
I'll go. I'm sort of removing dry ice, but I'll go shaved giant. No, sorry, crushed giant shaved half cube.
Okay.
That's a great answer.
Thank you.
I would put giant cube at the top. For me.
Sure.
I love a giant cube.
But don't you love? I love the thing I like about a crushed, or I guess sort of a shaved. It's like I'm eating this ice, but I'm also drinking it at the same time.
Right.
It's like two things are happening because it's so diluted in a way because of its size.
Yeah, you're right.
And I get a crunch. Some people hate people that chew on ice, though. Nora can't stand it when I chomp on a piece of ice.
Right.
Like it sends like shivers up her spine.
Yeah, I can't do it.
For me, it's like if somebody bites a towel. Like just thinking about that sends a shiver up my spine. Yeah.
Yeah.
But she's like that with ice.
Yeah, totally. Same. But I will have crushed ice in my mouth and let it like
just dissolve. It's like cotton candy. It's the cotton candy of ice.
Yeah.
All right. Well, I did my first Instagram poll for this one.
Exciting.
I wanted to see how it worked. So it's not the results may change because it's going to be up for 24 hours, whatever.
Okay.
But we're like 16 hours in, and at this point, the poll said, at a restaurant, I prefer my water served with ice or no ice. 59% said ice.
Oh, it's not that high.
Yeah, not
It was
as high
even
as I thought.
it was even higher. You know what? I'm going to check it right now as we're speaking.
Let's do it.
And as I'm checking it, Skeets, why don't you tell me what the best ice is to play Ice Chess? The game, of course, where you throw a friend of yours takes his or her shirt off.
Right.
You stand at a comfortable distance and throw ice at them.
Yeah, that's Ice Chest. It was created in a hotel room back in the day. We've since played it outside, which I actually encourage you to do if you're going to play Ice Chess. Watch your eyes, though, for sure. Dangerous game.
Yeah.
Kids, don't be doing this. We're trained professionals. It's a half cube, honestly.
Yes.
Because a giant cube, we could kill each other.
Oh, my God.
With the arm I got on me, man, I hit you in the temple, you're down.
You're like, how did Grish die? Decapitated by a giant.
Oh, that would be the most ironic way for that guy to die. He loves ice, and he died playing ice. He died
as he lived,
doing what he loved.
Yeah.
But it's the half cube. It's your classic ice cube because it's enough to hurt. It's enough to cut. But it's not going to be that dangerous. And the other ones, well, I mean, you can't even pick up the dry ice. I guess you could throw it in gloves. Don't encourage you to do that. And then
it just sticks to the person.
And then shaved and crushed. I mean, that's like just. I mean, you're straight tickling.
That's like the shotgun of the Ice Chess world.
Yeah,
just a big spray.
Yeah, spray. Yeah, like the game Contra. That's the spray gun in Contra. So half
all
cube.
right. Yeah, we're 18 hours in, and it's actually gone down. It's ice 58%.
Wow.
That's amazing to me. Okay, honestly, John, I almost have to walk back what I was saying. I thought this was I thought 80%, 90% of people prefer ice in a restaurant is what I'm thinking.
Yeah.
When you ask for a water,
We got a lot of fans.
lower.
We got a lot of fans in China, so I think that might be skewing the poll.
Okay.
I wanted to take a moment to talk about my new favorite sports game, Stakes. Here's the problem. You're watching the NBA playoffs, you want to feel like you have some more skin in the game, you want to feel like you have something more on the line, but you don't want to lose money. That's where Stakes come in. Predict sports for free and play against a community of thousands of other fans to prove you know sports and build your sports reputation. With Stakes, you can compete against other sports enthusiasts by predicting daily questions and climbing the ranks to earn rewards, all without risking your bankroll. It's free to play, and the more accurate your predictions, the more you win. Here's how to do it. If you're in Canada or the US, open your phone, go to playwithstakes.com/isthisgood to download Stakes and start your journey to becoming a sports god. Playwithstakes.com/isthisgood. Skeets, as you know from your decade plus of podcasting, not everyone is going to agree with everything you say. But sometimes, when you believe something deeply to your core, you have to stand alone on the edge of popular consensus. It's time for a new segment called Unpopular Opinions. So these topics are from the Unpopular Opinions subreddit. But if you have strongly held beliefs that most people disagree with, email them to me at isthisgoodpod@gmail.com. Why don't I know my own email address? It always surprises me that the pod is there.
Like,
Every time
we got that handle? That's good.
I'm like, isthisgood@gmail.com. And I'm like, no, pod, isthisgoodpod.
Yeah.
Someone had isthisgood@gmail.com.
Wow.
Did you try ITG? That must be gone.
Yeah,
ITG@gmail.com.
it was everything was gone.
Yeah.
We didn't even get Is This Good on Instagram. Is This Good Pod on Instagram.
Wow.
Now for my link tree, just Is This Good.
Yeah, that's good.
Yeah.
That's nice.
That was a steal.
I've seen you pushing the Linktree URL
Well, it's
a
just
lot more.
easier, no?
Yeah, you're taking the easy way out. I see what you're doing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Anyways,
Been there, man.
here is the first unpopular opinion.
Okay.
I'm through with being impressed by talented children. That's the opinion.
Wow.
Okay, so I'm going to give you a little bit more context.
Yeah.
The user Basement Desk writes, I understand the wonder and awe of seeing some 5-year-old play complex classical piano, or a 9-year-old dancer, 7-year-old painter, 6-year-old who can speak 17 languages, whatever. We are awestruck because as adults, we don't have the capabilities we see these kids master with ease. But children are different than adults. Their lives are different. Their brains are different. They are learning machines. That's what they're meant to do. Plus, most of adult lives have their time allocated towards jobs, family, and other responsibilities. Even if we had the time, it's likely that our brains would be too exhausted from other stressors in our lives. You and I simply aren't wired to learn new skills and with the speed and efficiency that kids do. What do you think about this unpopular opinion? Do you agree?
It's a pretty good breakdown.
Is it?
Of his
I think
unpopular
that's a dumb
opinion.
reason.
I don't mind it. There's some truth to obviously these.
It's a classic, like, if I had time, I would be the. I would write the greatest script ever. I don't have the time.
I got to push back on that a little bit. Do they not say, and does science not show, like learning a new language at, let's say 5 or 6, or obviously us at 43 trying to learn it, it's going to be more difficult. Not because of time, not because of my job or anything like that.
Of course you're right. But like being able to learn the piano when you're younger because your brain is a sponge is different than like being able to play all of Bach's sonatas. If Bach did in fact write sonatas, I'm not entirely sure.
Yeah.
Symphonies.
Right.
It's a different level.
What this person is leaving out is that they were a child at one point. So what were you doing when you were a child, guy? What were you doing when you were a child?
He should have leaned into the more like, when I see these talented kids, I feel bad for them. I get a sick feeling because all I think about is they were literally just forced into whatever skill they've now mastered because of their weirdo parents that made sure they just sat there at the piano until their fingers bled, learning whatever this is. Yeah, I mean, that's what he should have went with.
Wait, played it till their fingers bled? Was it the summer of 69?
So,
No, you don't have to respond directly to their reasoning. More just respond to the opinion that they're sick of being impressed by talented children. Because I kind of agree, not for the reason they said, but partly because we're seeing all the talented children now because of like Instagram and social media.
Right.
And frankly, it's starting to freak me out. Like, there's this kid, maybe you've seen him on Instagram. I believe his name is Miles. And he is like a whiz. He's 7 years old or so, and he is a whiz at making music.
Okay.
Like on Pro Tools or whatever rig he's using. He's got like a MIDI sequencer. Not only can he play like a million instruments, and he's like doing the guitar parts and recording them, but he's also like doing crazy shit. Like he'll bring like a toothbrush out or something, and he'll like do that, like make a popping sound.
Damn, that was an awesome sound there. That was good.
Thank you.
Clip that, JD. Loop that back.
Now pitch it down. I want to. Okay, now that's the bass. Okay, pitch it up. That's the snare. Now make it splashy. That's the symbols. All right.
Okay. It's like it's not that tough.
No, but that's what he's doing.
Get out of here, Miles.
That's what he's doing, and he's redoing like Mark Ronson songs.
Okay,
and
I
stuff like
haven't
that.
seen
It
this
looks like
too,
honestly, it's insanely impressive.
Yeah.
And at first I was like, wow, this is cool. Like this is crazy. This kid can do this. I certainly couldn't do this.
Yeah.
Even JD.
Probably not.
But I'm starting to get creeped out by it because it just feels like I'm looking at something I shouldn't be looking at. Like, because he doesn't have. Well, what are you making the face for?
Well, go on. Finish your thought.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, let me say it like this. You spend a ton of time in front of the camera, right? Like
Yeah.
probably close to 10 hours a week.
Yeah.
But if I put a secret camera in your house that you didn't know about and I was watching you there, that would be weirder, right? Because you would be naked, not literally naked, but just vulnerable, not performing in any way, not knowing anyone was watching you.
Right.
I shouldn't be watching that. And that's what I feel like with a kid doesn't have the sort of defenses up or know that perhaps the consequences of it or know how to protect themselves a bit and keep, I don't know.
Well, who's posting
Well,
these videos? Is it
Well, the
not?
I got a wild idea. Who? Yeah. Dad and mom.
parents.
Yeah.
Well, I don't know. So I see kids playing guitar all the time. Like, they have their own social media accounts, and they're, I mean, not 7-year-olds.
This
but,
kid is 7, and it says
that's
like
young.
parent run account on it.
right.
Okay.
Yeah.
Anyways, I feel like watching a kid is kind of like watching Skeets through a hidden camera.
Right.
I think it's the same level of like kind of like weird vulnerability.
Okay.
I agree with that. That's a totally different subject, though. I think. Like, we're talking about talented children and whether or not we're
To be impressed by them. But to be impressed by it, you have to see them. And how
I
we're seeing
think
it.
you said something right at the start, Matt, that I was like, oh yeah, you're right. It's like we just see all the talented children now.
Right.
All of them.
Right,
Because we see
right,
them on
right,
Instagram, we see them on Twitter, we see them wherever. Because we now are just living in this world where we obviously are just the capabilities to see them. But like, think about I'd love to ask my grandpa. It's like, did you know any talented kids? Like, honestly, think about this. Maybe he's like saw one kid at church or something once, or like he probably has one or two where he's like maybe has heard the story. It's been passed down. Like, oh yeah.
Hopefully, he says, "I'm looking at one."
Hey, that's funny you say that. I bet you my grandpa thought I was the greatest kid basketball dribbler in the world when I was dribbling up at the farm, practicing my skills.
Yeah.
Like I was good, but to grandpa, I was like the greatest in the world for a kid.
Right.
But if my grandpa's on Instagram, he's like, he sucks.
Yeah.
He's not good.
Yeah.
That's fascinating.
Yeah, or if your grandpa saw other people dribbling. I mean, I'm sure you were good, but...
Yeah, other kid. But this is my point. It's like, he probably is like, I don't know, there was like one kid. Like, I just keep thinking like he probably saw, someone came through to their church once and was like amazing at an instrument or something in the band. Like, he probably talked about it, told people about it.
Yeah. And that child, Gordon Lightfoot. How old? Your grandfather is 150 years old.
One time, little Tommy Two Shoes pulled a quarter from behind my ear. It was the greatest thing anyone had ever seen. Anyways, okay, so JD, you're disagreeing with this unpopular opinion. You're not you.
No, I kind of agree with it actually.
Oh, okay. Yeah. All right. Okay.
Well, here's the thing. My thing is that I think that the measure of what's talented is very, very low. Most of the things that I see are live. Like, I go to a lot of plays, a lot of kids' plays. I see a lot of children, teenagers now performing, and I see their parents like, and everybody just like slavering all over them. Like, that was incredible. My kids get in the car. I have pages of notes for them. Pages and pages of notes. And like, it's like, okay, it was fine, but it wasn't, there's always room for improvement.
Okay, let me ask you this, because you've gone to a lot of these, musical performances or, like you said, plays and stuff.
Yeah.
Because your kids were in or whatever. Have you seen the super talented kid? Have you been like, whoa, yeah.
Oh, totally.
That one guitar guy, the kid.
Yeah, Ben, he's good. He's fine.
Oh, he's not even anything. Oh, I saw him play, and I was like, okay, this kid's pretty good.
He's definitely good, but I've seen... then we went to, so that band, we went to Memphis and to compete in nationwide.
And
he was the worst guitarist.
Oh
there.
my God! Wow.
At the same ages, like 15 to 17. I'm just saying, there's.
So you were impressed when you saw the upper echelon, yeah.
Of course, and I was impressed when I saw Ben. And shout out to Ben. He's great. He's really good.
Shout out to Ben. I know he listens. Big fan.
Well, I think his mother might listen, actually, but he's good.
Ben's really good. He's good. He's good.
He's good, but
Memphis, the home of the Delta Blues. Okay, there's a lot of good people there. Ben shouldn't feel bad about it.
He's nowhere near the best. Like, you know what I mean?
Right.
But I will see, and not Ben specifically, but I've seen kid bands who are fucking awful. Awful. Just high fives. That was incredible. And yes, encourage your children for sure, I guess. But also, I don't know,
tone it down a little bit.
Yeah, let's just pump the brakes on
this. This happens in sports too. I mean, having coached, 6, 7, 8-year-olds over the last couple of years. Yeah, it's like, all right, slow down. Your kid's all right.
Yeah. And let me add this to Ben specifically. He's the first person to be like, that sucked. That was awful. You know what I mean?
Respect.
So respect to Ben for that.
So you're telling me, JD, that every time we end a show, and the extra music fades out, and I go high five you, and I go, all right, great show. In your head, you're going, I got a page of notes for you.
No, you're not a child. You're not a child. But also, you would be the first to be like, this could have gone better, that could have gone better.
Yeah,
you're
right.
always striving.
I don't need you, Dad. I don't need you anymore, Dad.
Exactly.
I'm a big boy in my tie.
Big boy in my husky pants.
Big boy in some husky pants. All right. Next unpopular opinion. Yes. Voice notes are lazy and rude. The user First Lengthiness 16 writes, voice notes save people time by not typing, but cost me time listening to their inane meanderings, umming and ahhing, whilst they take forever to get to the point. Voice notes are for selfish people. Don't be selfish. Skeets, what do you think of this unpopular opinion? Voice notes are lazy and rude.
I don't have much of a take on this one because I do not receive a lot of voice notes. Now, I never send them.
Yeah.
Maybe I'll send them if somebody sent me one.
Right.
You know what I mean?
I send you voice notes.
You're the only person that I've ever gotten a voice note
I guess
from.
you have.
You've been delighted by it.
Well, my buddy Grish sends them every once in a while, too. In his defense, he will do it in the... When it calls for it. Because sometimes it's a very complicated thing to type out or it's going to take forever. So I can just explain this better. Nobody wants to pick up the phone and actually talk to each other. So I'll just send this. So he doesn't go overboard by any means. You don't either. But I guess I see where the person's coming from. If you sent them all the time, then that would be annoying. It'd be annoying.
It's not a replacement for texting.
That's
not
right.
a replacement for
right.
texting.
Right.
But there's also voice to text, which I know.
No, it's not the same.
I know, but I'm just saying, if you don't want to type, you can do voice to text. Rachel does it all the time.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Mostly because she's on her watch,
She's playing pickleball.
you know that text is voice to text it, right? Most of the time when you get it, unless it's coming home. Mm-hmm. If it's a longer thought, you're because there's mistakes and it looks weird.
Yeah.
But voice notes are not a replacement for regular text. So if that's what people are doing, then that's fucking insane. And you probably shouldn't be friends with that person. But in my, group chat of gossipy bitches from back home, sometimes when there's tea to spill,
right,
we prize the voice message. We can't wait for the voice message because you're getting not just from the person sending it's this is too long to type and I don't want to have to and ah into the voice to text phone, but you're getting tone, you're getting performance, you're getting delight, fear, anxiety. You're getting all these emotions and you're hearing the voice of your friend from miles away tell you a great story, spin you a good yarn, and it's amazing.
Yeah.
Everyone has AirPods or headphones anyways. It's not like you need to play it out loud or something like that. Mm-hmm. So I'm going to disagree with this unpopular opinion. Voice notes are awesome.
I say time and a place. Time and a place.
Yeah,
It's
I think we're all agreeing with
situation.
that. Maybe this person got a lot of them or had friends that did it way too much.
Yeah.
Then I'd be like, okay. But yes, story time from MattyO, spilling the tea.
Yeah, hell yeah.
Spin that yarn.
Yeah.
Let's go.
But maybe like if it's a not safe for work type thing and you're like, have to listen and you don't have your AirPods
Do
or
they
whatever.
disappear? Is it like Mission Impossible style? Like they self-destruct after you've listened to it? Am I crazy or is that an option?
No, in iMessage, I believe they do.
That's
I think if I send it to you, you can quote unquote keep it. In which case, it'll save it for you, but it'll disappear from the chat.
Okay.
I think in WhatsApp they stay there though.
Okay.
There was a voice to text thing that I tried to. I saved. I grabbed a screen grab of it. In case something ever came up, I don't have it here. I just thought of it. And it is insane because Rachel couldn't turn it off. So she says her text and then she couldn't turn it off. And then and she didn't realize that it wasn't off. And I'll pull it up and put it in Patreon or whatever because it is fucking hilarious. Because I chime in and we're having a conversation and it's just all like
it was like
it's like dictating like a personal conversation, and she refers to like a turd in the refrigerator, which was like this sort of hunk of chocolate, but we were calling it the turd. But when you see it in the text, it is just like the ramblings of a mad person, and the text was going to somebody she didn't know very well, right? Like, so if it had actually ended up being sent by accident, it would have been like the most hilarious thing. Anyways, I'll dig that up and I'll share it on the old socials.
Chocolate turds.
All right, Skeetsy, as you know, it's better to give than to receive. So I want to thank you for coming on the show. As you said, you come on many times. Yes. So as a thank you, we're going to find you a present that you're going to love. And of course, it has to be from your favorite store. The only company that guarantees the best, the only, and the unexpected for 175 years.
It's the Hammerschlemmer catalog.
Yes, that's right. This part's for the Patreon sickos only, my P-hounds. To subscribe to Patreon, go to patreon.com/isthisgood. You too can hear the full episode. And it's time for Is This Gift Good? That was Is This Gift Good? What do shiitake mushrooms, giant baseball glove chairs, and offline password managers have in common? You'll have to go to patreon.com/isthisgood to find out, and you too can hear the full episodes. Skeets, there's only one thing left to do.
Yep.
And that's play Subjective Trivia. Subjective trivia is just like regular trivia, except only I know the answer. So you probably don't know this because you don't live in California, but there's a bill that might be passed in California banning the manufacture, sale, or distribution of any food containing the chemicals red dye number 3, titanium dioxide, potassium bromate, brominated vegetable oil, or propylparaben. All of those things which are in ice water that make them unhealthy.
Wow.
So these are all chemicals that are currently banned in the European Union due to scientific studies that have shown that they're harmful and cause cancer and whatever.
Okay.
I don't want to talk about whether this makes sense or anything, but what I do want to talk about how it will affect me is, because there's a lot of foods that fall under these chemicals, but it hits the sweet treats particularly hard.
Okay.
So today's question is, which of these potentially banned candies am I gonna miss the most? Here are your options. Skittles.
Wow.
Sour Patch Kids.
Oh, I love those.
Starburst.
Meh.
Nerds.
Bleh.
Peeps.
Get out of here.
Even worse.
So these are all gonna be banned. Peeps, Nerds, Starburst, Sour Patch Kids, Skittles. Which am I gonna miss the most?
Well, JD, we can cross out the last two. Nerds and
For
Peeps,
sure.
you can get the hell out of here.
Yeah.
Those are Boruto candies. I don't think there's any way Matt likes
When
them.
was the last time you had Nerds?
Maybe I was 12 years old.
Yep. Yep.
I took down like one of the giant boxes once, and I
Oh,
puked
yeah.
them all up on our,
wow.
on our front stoop. I know exactly where I did it, and they just all came up.
That's why they make one hole is for chugging, the other hole is to puke back into.
Yeah. Oh man, I'm not sure I ever touched them after that.
Wow.
I guess I did like them when I was a kid, but
Oh, hell yeah. What a great, like, honestly, the packaging is so fun.
Yeah.
Like, the branding is so fun. It's like all candy is made for kids, but nerds are truly for kids.
What were they? Like little lemmings? Is that what they were? The shape of those little nerd guys?
No, they weren't lemmings. They were like, they were kind of like a weird sea creature that you would find, like only James Cameron would ever see, because they were like very low
So
below.
deep in the water. Yeah.
Right.
They had like a very bulbous nose.
Yeah. No, I can picture them. So they actually weren't anything, is what you're saying.
It wasn't like a specific animal. Okay. But that leaves you with Skittles, Sour Patch Kids, and Starburst.
Yeah, those are 3 good ones. I think it's one of the first 2, JD.
I think it's I mean, let's be honest. He's gonna miss all of these. But
Our husky boy is gonna miss all of these sweet treats.
he's got a real sweet tooth, our Matt.
He does.
But having said that, I think it's the Sour Patch Kids. I think he has a particularly soft spot for Sour Patch Kids.
I think he does too. Now, I almost caught myself with wanting to get rid of Starburst, though. Let me throw this at you. He does like to chew on a pen lid.
That's true.
A Starburst is...
It's the chewiest one of all of them.
Yeah. So there is that... It sustains him for a while. He can chomp on it for a bit.
Let me just throw out talking about Husky Bat story related to Starburst. I might have told this on the starters before, but we were not like allowed to have candy and sweet stuff in the house, generally speaking. It was a real, like, it's a treat. Like, we didn't have a pantry filled with like fun stuff in it. And one time I was gifted a bag of Starburst, and like a big, not like a big ass, like economy size bag, right? So I brought it home, I hid it, and I started eating them. And then I had a problem, much like someone trying to escape from prison. What do you do with all the dirt? You know, what do you do with all the wrappers?
Yeah, gotta eat them.
So I know, like, if I throw them in the garbage in my room, like, my mom empties that garbage. So I came up with a brilliant plan. I'm gonna flush them down the toilet.
Flush them, yeah.
Okay, so then one day I come home, there's a strange man in the house.
Oh no.
Is he? He's a plumber. The man leaves. My mother says to me, "Have you been eating Starburst?" I say, "Nope." She says,
Ooh, a lie.
"Really?"
Caught in a lie.
Wow.
I say, "No." She says, "That's interesting." Then what are these? And pulled up all these Starburst wrappers that the plumber pulled because they clogged the toilet.
How many of these were you eating? And did you decide to dump them all the evidence at once? I mean, you would have got away with like every little MattyO dump you took, throw in a wrapper or two, and I don't think that's gonna clog the system. But it sounds like you ate them all and then just had like a giant pile of wrappers. You're like, well, guess I'll try and flush it.
You gotta be Andy Dufresne about it, you know, walk around
Take
the
rocks out and shake them at the bottom of your husky pant legs, man.
I love the idea of wrapping each tiny turd in a Starburst wrapper. Like it's some kind of fecal origami.
Okay, that sucks.
Right,
Wow, busted on that.
Okay, so maybe.
Oh fuck! I forgot to do my card. I'm gonna write down my answer. I forgot to write it down.
Okay.
But yeah, give me a.
So has he ever well, we know he loves Starburst at one point for sure, but
has that experience scarred him?
Yeah. I think I'm with you. I think he's a Sour Patch Kids guy. I really do. Let's go with it. Let's go with our gut.
Sour Patch Kids. Final answer.
Yeah.
Damn it!
Oh.
You guys are right.
Yes.
By a mile. I do like Starburst.
By a mile. Okay, rank them.
They should unwrap them. There's no need for them to be wrapped. First of all, you're hurting children that I need to get rid of the evidence. But also, oh my God, I just also realized you're eating the Starburst, so you're shitting out the Starburst, then wrapping them back up.
Right, yeah.
That's the circle of life.
So rank these.
Yeah, rank them, Matt.
Sour Patch Kids #1. Starburst 2, Skittles 3, Nerds 4, Peeps 5.
Okay, honestly, that's what I would have gone.
Yeah.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I was a little torn between Skittles and Starburst, but I think that well, after hearing the story, definitely Starburst too. And you like to chomp on something a little bit. Like a Starburst will last in your mouth for a while.
Yeah, that's true.
It's tough.
All right, well, if this law passes, can you send me some contraband Sour Patch Kids?
So you're telling me if this law passed, like these products are done, like they can't find substitutes?
In California.
That's exactly what's going to happen. They're saying like you can still sell these, obviously, but you have to take out the red dye number 3 or something.
Sure.
But so far they've been resistant because they're like, I'm sure it all comes off the same assembly line. So they're like, well, we're not going to change it. So
you're saying there could be like a California only Starburst.
Yeah, or maybe they just start making all Starburst with it. It's not like everyone's like, you know what I love about Starburst? Titanium dioxide.
Right. Good point.
All right, Skeetsy, where can people find you?
Holler at me on Twitter, Instagram, at JE Skeets. Obviously, follow No Dunks. We are getting very, very close here to the NBA Finals. Maybe by the time you're listening to this, the finals are set. So yeah, come check out No Dunks on YouTube, wherever you download, listen to podcasts, and we'll have a bunch of, summer content for you as well. We got to do our Fast X. Are you coming on Fast X, MattyO?
Okay, look, JD and I talked about this on The Great Beyond. He was like, are you going to see it? I said, no. He said, you have to see it. I said, why? He said, because you're coming on the show. I was like, I was never told to come on the show. He said, yeah, we told you when we recorded the episode. I was like, that was 2 years ago during a pandemic.
Yeah.
It's still, I think we said at the end of it, you're coming on, right? Yes, I am, is what you said.
Okay. Well, anyways, we're not going to decide now. You guys talk about it because I know sometimes it's annoying to have everyone there and then one person remote. Yeah. But if you want me on, I will go see this movie that I already know I'm going to hate.
Hey, it's better than 9.
It's better than 9. That's true.
Well, definitely better than 9, which was a turd wrapped in a Starburst. But yeah, follow me on all the social media channels. No Dunks and JE Skeets.
Guys, it's the playoffs. If you're not listening to No Dunks, what the hell are you doing? Remember to check us out on Patreon, patreon.com/isthisgood. Skeets, that's patreon.com/isthisgood. No, please don't. You come on the show, you do enough. I
should get like a free.
Honestly, they don't have that. You cannot do that.
Yeah,
I cannot give.
Oh, but I think I could give you the
login.
Did you?
Okay, we'll talk about it.
Hey, let me put that in my password manager that is not connected to anything.
I will say, sneak peek, they have just started a program where you can do free trials on Patreon. So look out for that. We are going to launch the ability to give you a free trial to the show. But you literally cannot gift it to a friend or anything like that.
Yeah.
It's weird.
I'll talk to Nora tonight.
God, I was just reading
I'll talk to Nora tonight, and we'll cancel our trip to Milan and Lake Como, and then put it all into the Patreon.
Well, you can pay by the year.
We're doing it.
Okay, so that's... Nora, the good news is we get to hear extra Matt while sitting in a giant baseball glove chair.
Batter up!
If you have topics, email us at isthisgoodpod@gmail.com. Nailed it that time. Remember to rate us on Apple Podcasts. Subscribe on YouTube. Thanks for listening. Thanks to JD. Thanks to Skeets, as always, for coming on. Thanks in advance for leaving a 5-star review for everyone. I'm Matt Austin, and this was good. We'll see you next week.